hey sir, does the A on your belt stand for ass hat? Yes sir, use a ass hat. Use a sock. What just happened here? Hey guys, now you can follow me on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/UltraMaximusReviews. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another retro review, and today we're going to rewind it back to 1993 with the Uncanny X-Men Apocalypse. And not just any Apocalypse, this is the Extending Body Apocalypse from Toy Biz. And I remember there being two Apocalypse figures in the Toy Biz lines, this extending one, and then they had one where you switched out the arms for like weapons. I found this one at my local flea market for $5. I'd love to get the other one too. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I think it looks more apocalypse-y. This one looks a little skinny, but it is what it is. It was $5. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Apocalypse in the packaging, and you can't see his A because the sticker they put on it, so it will not peel off, but I don't care. I'm going to rip it out of the box anyway. We get this nice little Marvel Comics type of logo up here with Magneto and Apocalypse and Juggernaut, and this is the Evil Mutants series of figures from the Uncanny X-Men. It's got the extending body and some kind of weapony type thing, and then we get Apocalypse right there. So just kind of a close-up of the box. There is the artwork looking cool. There's the old school Apocalypse artwork. Dun dun dun. And it's from Toy Biz. But yeah, definitely pretty neat. Back of the packaging has a huge long write-up here, which we don't get anymore. And then he's got the extending body action and then his gimmick with some kind of jewel on there. That must have been from the cartoon or something. I don't know. We get the X-Force line of figures and the Uncanny X-Men figures. And just kind of a close-up. Here are all the other figures that you can collect. And they look cool. Look at them. Look at them all. And some of them I have picked up and reviewed. And I'll probably pick more of these up for retro reviews because I like them. I think they're pretty cool. So here's the write-up. If you want to pause and read this stuff, you are more than welcome to. It's kind of long and lengthy. But yeah, there it is. And that's pretty much it for the packaging on Apocalypse here. Let's go ahead and get him out of the box and see what we think. So here we have Apocalypse out of the package, and this thing is weird. Very, very strange. It's definitely a 90s figure, and to be honest, it feels kind of cheap and feels kind of like a knockoff. Unlike some of the other Toy Biz figures from that era, it just, I don't know, it doesn't have the same feel to it. And one of the issues I have is this weapon piece he has right here, because he can't even hold on to it. It feels like this came from something else. This piece, the handle, is too big to go into his hands, and it doesn't really latch on to anywhere on here. I suppose you can hook it into one of the tube pipes under his arms, but yeah, that's about it. And then the play gimmick on it, you can lift this up to show off the gemstone or whatever this thing is supposed to be. It does come out, and yeah, I suppose he can hold this like a gun. And then you got this, and this tube, this plastic just feels very cheap and knockoff plastic to me. This is a big waste of crap and will go into a drawer never to be seen again. Now, Apocalypse himself is not too bad as far as the body goes, I suppose. I do like the tubes that they have on there. The face sculpt is horrendous, I will say that. And as far as articulation goes, the head on this one does not really go at all. It feels like, if it does move, it feels like it's going to snap off, so I'm not going to really force it. His arms do raise up like that, and his tubes do not hamper that, which is nice. And then he's got some really stiff elbow joints, so he can do that, which is pretty cool. There is no articulation in the waist because of the play gimmick. His legs kick up that far. They kick that far back. He does have a single jointed knee. There is no articulation in the wrists or in the feet. Now, his play gimmick is he can extend, because Apocalypse can grow in the comics, right? And he did in the cartoon show. So you can lift his body up like that. It's pretty stiff, but it does go up, and then his feet pull out like that, and there he is. That's as tall as he can get, and he kind of balances awkwardly. Let me see if I can There we go. So there he is, standing in his extended mode. Which, I mean, I like the gimmick and the fact that he can extend out, but it really hampers the figure. And I don't know, I just wish this part went up a little higher and maybe the arms extended out too. It might be a nice play gimmick for a Mr. Fantastic toy at the time, but it's definitely interesting, and I think I prefer the other Toy Biz Apocalypse over this one because of it. So, yeah, I'm going to pop that down. As you can hear it kind of snap shut, and then that goes down like that. And yeah, there he is. That's the play gimmick on this figure. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, this is an atrocious figure. The sculpt on this is terrible. While it does have all the characteristics of the comic from back in the 90s and the X-Men cartoon, it's just badly done. Heavy on the paint for sure. The body itself, the body armor is okay. It's a dark blue, and then we've got the black on there. We do get some light blue paint effects on the head sculpt itself, which is admirable, you know, for what it is. I mean, this is a mid-90s toy, late 90s toy, and, you know, it is what it is, but the sculpt has gotten so much better over the years. And with it being just absolutely hideous, the head doesn't even rotate on this figure, which is kind of boo-bad. Taking a look at the midsection of the figure, probably one of my more favorite things about it are the light blue tubes that we have that go from his arms to his waist, which is very accurate from the comics. I do appreciate that. We got the great big A for Apocalypse. I do like the color scheme of the dark blue, the black, and the light blue. I think that all looks really well. There is a lot of sculpted detail in his gauntlets. I will give it that. We just don't have any of the articulation because it's an old 90s toy. So not too terribly bad. And as far as the play gimmick goes, I will say it is designed pretty well for a 90s figure where it comes up out of the waist, but that does hamper him to be able to turn left or right. I would have liked to have them add the same play gimmick that they had in the legs into the gauntlets. I think that would have made it a little bit more fun, and it'd been nice if he could actually use his staff. And finally, taking a look at the legs of the figure, I mean, they're just all blue. He does have the play gimmick in the legs where they spring upward, which are hidden. It's all hidden very well as far as that goes on the sculpt and design. I mean, you can see the seam, but it doesn't really look too terribly bad. We do have some sculpted detail work into the boots. And the problem is the feet are kind of weirdly shaped. They're kind of large, so he should stand pretty well, but for some reason he doesn't. I think it's a lack of some ankle in the back of the hind foot there. It just, I don't know, it stands kind of awkward, and you got to find the right footing. Once you do, he will stand, but it's not just going to be easily dropped onto the ground stand. For comparison, here we have the extending Apocalypse with a fellow Toy Biz figure, the Silver Samurai, and a modern Marvel Legends figure, the Walgreens exclusive Human Torch. And as you can see, he's definitely a little guy. I mean, he's shorter than the Silver Samurai over there, which is kind of weird and goofy, but he definitely looks out of place next to a modern figure. And this guy, the Silver Samurai, a way superior figure than this guy for sure. And even with his extended parts out, let's go ahead and extend him out. Captain Extendo here, and are you going to stand? There we go. As you can see, even with his extended play gimmick, he's still shorter than the Human Torch. So is the extending Apocalypse from a Toy Biz something that you want in your Marvel X-Men collection? This is an easy pass, really. I do like the little play gimmick. I think it's kind of fun, but it's not enough to really want to get the toy, I would say. I got this thing for $5, and for what it is, it was $5 spent. But it's kind of bothersome because the weapon piece that it comes with feels really cheap, and it doesn't even work with the toy. I mean, he can't even hold it. The extending pieces don't really extend too much, but they work. I mean, it does work, and he is taller than a normal Toy Biz figure of the time, which is kind of cool. Head sculpt is atrocious. The color scheme looks pretty good, and they hide the gimmick pretty well, and even when it's extended out, all the paint and everything matches, so that's kind of nice. I do like the tubes. I think those work really, really well. Overall, this is definitely a $5 figure in box at best. If you do collect all the old school Toy Biz figures from the 90s, this is definitely one to get. I think there's a better Apocalypse figure out there that has interchangeable arms, which I'll probably try to get at some point because this one just is not going to cut my Apocalypse fix. So there he is, Extending Apocalypse from Toy Biz.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, like us on Facebook, and look for more videos in the future.